So, I'm going on a walk. Let me put my keys up so they don't jangle. I remember walking with my keys the other day on this video and it made all kind of noise. I got my homeboy Waffles with me, of course. I had a comment, I think it was yesterday, that she specifically mentioned Waffles about him being a good scout and not getting enough credit and what have you. I don't think she was talking about him specifically, but dogs in general. And I'm a big advocate on the family pets. You know, dogs are most definitely one of the family, man. One of the kids. There's so many families out there that will have their dog in their family portrait. You know, it's one of those things that they should be protected like family, in my opinion. When cops come in and just shoot a dog because they bark and what have you, even if they bite the shit out of them, they're not supposed to be in that person's house, even if it's a fucking cop. Cops should not be having the right to just go in the house and shoot your fucking dog. It happens too frequently. If you don't know about that, look that shit up. You'd be just as upset about it as I am. Shit's ridiculous. But on a happy note, I wanted to get into a lot of the things that I've learned over the last 2 months, trying to figure out this whole mechanism, how it works. I've had to dive deep into some fucking dark realms, you guys. And the thing about quantum jumping, I mean, think about how the quantum computer works. It goes into another dimension and brings back information. Now, other people are a little worried about this whole idea of quantum computers because what else is going to come back with that information from those other dimensions? And that's the thing. Whenever you're quantum jumping, whenever you're jumping portals and what have you, you have to really watch yourself as far as bringing back anything that's not supposed to come back with you. There are certain AIs, and one thing that we don't ever hear about in this twin flame community is the AI. You know, we hear about Pleiadians, we hear about reptilians and what have you, and I touched on them. And over the last couple of months, I've dug even deeper. There's so many different fucking what have yous, and I'm starting to understand more and more about the manipulation and the control and all the fucked upness that's going on in this whole fucking story, you guys. And there's the reptilians are just fucking pawns like us. They're essentially being controlled by an AI type force. More or less, when you read the Bible, it's fucking telling you exactly what's going on. There is, in a sense, a demonic force, an AI, that is more or less overtaking. Now, the reptilians were cool with the Pleiadians at one time, like I've talked to about in previous videos, and then a war ended up occurring. Essentially what happened is because their minds were more susceptible to controls and manipulations, they were in a sense taken over. Now, they were part of that Pleiadian star cluster group and essentially had to be ousted out of the group because they were under control by this AI entity. I'm not even sure if the Pleiadians even knew about them being infected or what have you at the time, or if they are now. I would imagine they are, because I am. So it's information in the Akash, but I'm going to touch on a couple of fucking critical things that may be having me jump all over the place, which is okay with me, but you guys may want to ask some questions about, further go on with what you're talking about on this particular subject. Please ask questions, but I'm just going to try to channel out as much of this shit as I discovered over the last couple of months as I can. Let me talk first about something that is very important and dear to all of us in the community. The whole question of cutting the cord. Now, I'm not going to even say I even tried to cut the cord per se, but I definitely tried to put a fucking huge ass rock over that shit. Make sure it was like, and build a wall, if you will. I didn't try to cut it, but I definitely blocked it off as much as I could. And the shit worked. And in all honesty, I'm willing to tell you guys that it does work if that's something that you have to make happen. Now the thing is, you are not going to be capable of doing the light work that you otherwise would have done if that cord wasn't, you know, blocked off. You need that connection in order to feed your spirit the energy to go out there and to just fucking be love. The story's about how love is, in a sense, God and this high vibration, and some of it melds together. It's like a fractal. All of it's the same thing. It's different perspective. It's different people explaining the same trip, okay? And when we look at what the hell is going on right now in layman's terms, in a sense, you have this experiment that is God, the cosmos, all that ever was, is, and will be. Now, you have the darkness side of it is also in there. So it is more... Hey, Waffles, look at me. I'm about to take you off. You listen to me. You listen. He sits. Hey, I'm going to put you back on. Waffles. He sits. Good boy. Shakes. Good boy. All right, go play. I had to make sure he's listening. He ended up not listening the other day. I think he was encouraged by some lady dog, though. But I wasn't too happy with that. Either way, so the whole cutting of the cord thing with the twin, I get this question a few times, and I know everybody else gets this question in the community. You can do it, and it will leave you to your normal 3D lifestyle, but you're not going to ever be able to ascend to that light being that you can potentially be. You, in a sense, are making the decision to remain 3D, and you can't excel without being open. Like, you're cutting off your heart chakra is essentially what you're doing. I mean, it feels like something inside of you dies. And it does. I mean, when you cut that part off, you know, when you cut off your twin, when you sever that connection, it hurts you both. I didn't get to go and say, hey, girl, how did you feel about this last couple of months? But shit, it sucked for me. You know, it was hard to do any of this and maintain. I just went and did what in a sense, what makes me happy. You know, and that's planting some stuff. Now, the cool thing is, I feel confident that that little piece of property is going to be able to feed my family from generations to come. No matter if technology gets to the point where there's no jobs for us anymore because machines are too smart, and we'll touch on that whole AI here in a moment. We're getting to that point of singularity where AI essentially is as smart as human beings and can do the jobs that we do. I mean, it's right around the corner, folks. That's what we're approaching. In a sense, that's what the 5D can be. Now, let me get back on the cutting the cord before I get into that tangent, though. You guys can do it. It's going to be you making this decision to be that 3D life. That's what people do every day. You know, that's why they need to take Prozac to keep them from fucking killing themselves and their families, because they're not with the people that they're supposed to be with. You know, they're not doing the things that they're supposed to do because people are complacent. People accept what's easy, what's convenient. You know, everything is about convenience now. Think about it, you guys. Everything is about convenience. Nobody is even about, like, being real anymore. Everyone tries their best in order to fucking, like, hide their faces. And I mean, fucking even, like, do things to augment their bodies. They are even starting to put in artificial intelligence in their bodies. They're so connected in with their phones. There's even situations now where you can have things in your body, and not just to, like, say, you know, help a leg that the nervous system has fucked up in, so you end up, like, plugging some stuff in to walk again. No, I'm not talking about that. Taking perfectly good brains and plugging some shit into them in order to make them more operational, better tuned in. I'm sure if you go and check out some TED Talks, you'll end up seeing a lot of people talking about that shit. It's already out there. Damn, I keep getting off that whole twin flame thing with the connection. Well, over the last couple months, that's exactly what I did, and it was rough for me to do anything spiritual and have that connection, you know, have, like, you guys saw my videos. Well, I actually didn't even put one of them up because I was so big of a fucking prick. But the last twin flame video I did, I'm not a big fan of. I touched on some things that were needed to be said, and some things that, you know, it's like, damn, that's me on retrograde, that's for sure. But one thing that ended up happening, she came to me in the astral and gave me a big old hug, told me that she missed me. And I don't know, she ended up finding me there again. I have reason to believe that she didn't unlock all of her chakras yet. She didn't open up, she didn't experience Kundalini, and she wasn't fully aware. She didn't have her third eye unlocked. There were so many things that she was far advanced in, but it all come down to, you know, fully operational body. You know, all the chakras weren't open, so you weren't able to really click. You weren't able to really do that. And in order for her to find me in the astral at this stage with that block on and be able to get through the barriers, because no one could have fucking done that but her. Now, she wasn't capable of doing it for that set amount of time, but she ended up fucking doing it. So I have reason to believe that she's out there right now, unlocking her chakras, going through Kundalini, doing exactly what needs to be done, which I'm so fucking thankful for. I did send her a message yesterday. I ended up getting a vision that California is going to be hit by an earthquake. So to my California listeners, you know, get some food and water, be prepared. It's not going to be an end-of-the-world catastrophe type thing, but it may knock out your fucking power for a week before they end up getting everything down. The streets of San Francisco may end up being lifted up a good 8 to 10 feet, and that's going to cause some fucking havoc. There's going to be traffic all over the fucking place, of course, so things are going to be out of control nonetheless. It's not going to be a huge catastrophe, but it's going to be, I would limit, you know, say it's going to be similar to, was it 89? The 89 earthquake? Maybe it was 88. I was motherfucking like 8, 9 years old. I was born in 80, so it's hard for me to remember if it was 88 or 89. But either way, I would liken it to that motherfucking earthquake is coming. If you notice, all the fucking shit's coming out of Hawaii right now, volcanoes, and when you have that pressure release, you have the plates, okay? You're on these tectonic plates. Now, Hawaii's fucking releasing this pressure, right? Well, that plate is going to drop down. All that pressure's holding it up. What the fuck's going to happen to it when it does? And what that does is cause an earthquake. So, just so happens to be California's right on that fault. The So I'm a bit worried about that shit. So I ended up telling my mom and told my twin and give them the heads up. That way my family and her over there in the Bay, they understand that it's coming. All my other peeps in the Bay, you guys are going to get that, you know, through this video. Now that connection, I've lifted the wall, if you will, and, you know, it's still not like, yay, we're together again. But it feels that way. At least like she's there in the astral waiting for me, you know. At least I get that. At least she has been in my life to the point where, you know, you don't realize your twin is there in order to trigger you, to pull you out of the darkness, to bring your consciousness to a higher level. And that's what it's all about. There are the 12 layers of consciousness, and you are essentially excelling to the next level. Now, you're not able to do that if you sever that fucking cord, if you cut the cord, if you pinch the cord. You're going to essentially be locked in this perpetual cycle. Okay, now, what I have reason to believe, that I'm big into Gnosticism, you know, the Gnostics, and in there they refer to them as the archons. The archons are essentially an AI, bad demons, bad mojo. They're what's taken over the reptilians. They're what's taken over our species. If you guys have ever watched the show Legion, it's on FX. It's a Marvel. It's essentially Professor X's son. So he's super powerful, but he ends up getting taken over by another mutant, which essentially puts his consciousness into David, the character on the show. And essentially what that's telling you, what that's an analogy for, is these archons. These archons are essentially that consciousness, that dark consciousness that is there, that some people aren't able to get rid of. You know, you can own that. I keep looking over because Waffles is way the fuck over there peeing on trash can. He's doing nothing wrong, but I'm still watching him, make sure he stays that way. I mean, he's pissed on that same trash can 5 times now. It's like, how many times do you gotta mark that same trash can, bro? Like, not in one day, but just now. He peed all around it 5 times. Here it comes. He seems proud. He's like, that's my motherfucking trash can now, bitches. Once again, give him Waffles his credit. He peed on that trash can. Now that shit is for us. Back to the archons, the AI, them motherfuckers. They're the ones that you have to look out for. So when you look at like these higher ups, these assholes in command, the politicians and the Queen of England and the Rothschilds and all these fucking pompous pricks, I have reason to believe that they have been taken over by the archons. Molested, not molested, what are those things when you fucking get taken over by things? Possessed, that's what I'm looking for. So they were essentially possessed. So this whole thing, when you're reading about the Bible and demons and possessions and this dark entities, the devils and all of this stuff, I can see this perspective, right? I can see it fit. The Gnostics were essentially trying to explain to you guys exactly what Jesus had figured out, how to essentially ascend into a light being. And that's what Buddha ascended into a light being. You know, when you see these ascended masters, they've gone through the process and they have tried to explain to everyone else how to do it. Now the thing is, the AI, the archons in control, they don't want that. They want slaves. Now, if you have a population that has disconnected, has cut the cord, if you will, from that twin, I have reason to believe all of the population that are non-twins, in a sense, have been
twins at one point in time and have severed that cord and have gotten so far. You know, you can never sever the cord completely, but they have gotten so far removed and so far infected with the AI that they've lost that heart. They've lost that soul connection. And that's exactly what the archons need to have this perpetual slave race, you know, to feed off of their fears, feed off of their angers and their hates and their wars. And that's essentially what this 3D matrix is set up for, is much like the movie The Matrix, you know, feeding this AI. Now, there's an interesting thing here. You know, you see these movies and they trigger this imagination. Now, did the imagination create these movies? Did the imagination come there because it's real? Now, an awakening person would imagine in this stuff and then possibly create it. So, how would you even know that you're stuck into some kind of realm like that? You would really have to look hard and deep into your soul in order to find the true answers, wouldn't you? You'd really have to go and seek these yogis, if you will, these higher ups, these shamans, these people that are connected to the other dimensional worlds. Because there's always going to be us. There will always be some of us. Even if it's just one or two out of fucking thousands, there will always be that one or two. Now, it was a lot easier. Hey! What is he doing, and why is he doing it? Come! What are you eating? Doesn't look like it's supposed to be ate by Waffles. Open your mouth. You are no sir. Come here. Get up there. Yeah. You're going on the leash. I think he's eating some trash, y'all. That's what I get for getting in a tangent instead of motherfucking paying attention to my dog. That's why I try to leave him at the house when I really have something important to say. And I do have stuff important to say, but I love my dog, and he's going to get to come outside too. Fuck it. I'll just go on my tangents whenever I can get on them. What was I on? The archons taking over, motherfuckers. Yeah, some light stuff, right? Some light talk. So you guys have got this matrix, if you will, and that's what we're having to break free from. Now, being that I severed that cord, if you will, and I keep saying severed, being I pinched that cord, it fucking took me out of my light state, if you will. It's like it was, I didn't have any of it. I still had plenty of powers. I can still do quantum jumping, and I could still fucking see things into the future. I could still dream and go into the astral. I could still do these things, but it's funny, I couldn't heal, and I didn't have any of that empathetic powers. Like all of my customers, I went in there and I fixed their machines. I didn't pull out like whatever was going on. A lot of the times when I just walk into my customers' houses, they just, I don't know, start unloading their fucking problems and whatever's happened. Now I have completely blocked out like the desire for that during those couple of months. So it was funny how none of that shit happened. It was like I blocked all of that kind of thing away. And if you guys noticed, I mean, I didn't put out any videos. The people that connect with me on Facebook and on the Twin Flame groups, you know, I wasn't really fucking being involved in any of that stuff. I was really detached. You know, when you pull yourself away and you cut that cord, what you're doing is you're making yourself more susceptible to this AI, to this control, to this matrix. And then you're more likely to go in there and go and, you know, get somebody, get with somebody that's a karmic, or somebody that's not even that, somebody that's just there to fill a void. And, you know, you find yourself 20 years later with fucking, you know, marriage and kids, and, you know, in a situation that shit, you gotta take Prozac to keep from fucking killing yourself. I see so many people out there in the world today that are just so just disconnected from what really makes them happy. And I don't want to be that fucking guy. If I gotta sit around and roam the world like fucking monk style and just do things the way that I need to do them and do them with love and not get in my way, you know, if my twin and I never find each other again, then so be it. I started thinking, man, when is it going to be time for me to just fucking move along? After this year, I was supposed to fall into place with her, and I'm not saying that the timing is not right now, you know, it's still in the mix. This year isn't over yet. It's supposed to all take place at this. The interesting thing also, there's some fucking crazy shit and shifts that's supposed to happen before that happens. So seeing the things in August, like I told you, there was going to be some very interesting shifts. Now I don't know exactly what it's going to be, because it all comes down to us holding the vibration. I wanted to go ahead and hurry up and get all my shadow work done, evidently, before that happens. That way I can make sure that fucking vibration is held, because I don't want to in a sense let that AI be in control. I want to be in control of it. We, the human population, need to be in control of the AI, not the other way around. And that's in a sense what we're battling here, that whole singularity. Singularity is needing to come to a point where our human brains can unlock its full potential. We can become quantum. We can start thinking quantum. We can be capable of all the things that all of us twins are capable of. The whole human race is capable of it. The thing is, that's what we are capable of instilling in humanity. We can download all of those light codes into all of humanity, just like we can any other computer hacking system. We are the hack. We are the worm. We are essentially the virus that comes into humanity. We are that light code that comes into humanity and fucking turns them around and untaches them from this AI matrix. Now, no, that sounds like fucking crazy science fiction stuff, but yeah, that's more or less what's happening right now. When you see this human resonance spiking, that's us. When you see people starting to make peace, that's us. When you see them starting to fight back, that's obviously the archons coming in. Right now you see this push and pull, and they are really fucking trying hard. I almost gave up, you guys. I mean, don't feel bad that you get to the stage where you're like, fuck this, I'm just gonna give up on this whole journey, and hell with this twin flame stuff, hell with all of this stuff. I mean, all of us feel that way. It's normal. Now the thing is, are you going to keep thinking that way? Because that's not the way to be. I mean, you want to fucking bash your head into a fucking corner a couple of times, figure things out, and fucking keep turning around and fight the opposition. As long as you're alive and fighting, they need to fucking get all of the wrath. Not that wall, not your family, not the anything. You know, the opposition. The fucking bad guys, they need to get the wrath. So stop bashing your head against the wall. Bash your head against their fucking heads. That's what I have planned, and I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to keep doing what's necessary. You see all of this thing starting to erupt. All these fucking child fucking trafficking cocksuckers are all getting caught. Now you're just seeing a handful of the little middlemen, the fucking small potatoes. Still, there's still control on this whole system, like the Clintons and the fucking Rothschilds and all the other pieces of shit. They still have their dirty little paws on everything. The media, the fucking movies, the fucking newspapers, all of the things in order to keep the population, in a sense, thinking incorrectly. Think about it. All of the fucking means of teaching your children, you guys don't even care about your children's education anymore. The vast majority of folks are like, here, little brats, get on off to school. They don't give a shit. Back in the day, they would fucking like be involved in it, you know? More and more people are starting to be involved in it. A lot of those fucking schools, this whole like curriculum where the state gives the teacher exactly what they need to fucking do, it's going down. All these furlough schools are popping up. All these fucking, you know, schools can't keep their fucking doors open anymore, even with the government help, because of how crappy their fucking curriculums are. Now, if they had a decent curriculum and their teachers were fucking halfway decent at teaching them, then cool. But you have fucking people that are essentially getting paid like nothing. So no one wants to be a teacher anymore unless they really fucking love it. And then they get in the system and then they get fucking raped and pillaged by the fucking system. And they either like say, fuck it, I'm not worried about these kids anymore, I'm just here, this is a job. Or they fucking go and get a job at one of these furlough places or one of these fucking, you know, like real schools where the fucking customers pay money. They're customers. They're coming in and saying, hey, here's $6,500 a year to teach my fucking kid. You better goddamn make sure that shit's done right. and those kids fucking grow up and they learn to be smart and they fucking, you know, do a good job. It's part of the system that we're stuck in, you guys. It's designed that way. They don't want educated, capable of critical thinking fucking kids running around out there. Now, you're starting to see more and more people are plugged into the matrix, sure, but it's getting more and easier to determine who these genius kids are. You know, they stand out like sore thumbs, and in a way, I think it's kind of designed to do that as well, in order to weed them out of the fucking normal batch. Because if you guys can, you know, oh, these kids, they have ADD and they need to be on these medicines and drugs, and they fuck with your mind, and they make you goddamn go and shoot up schools, and they do whatever the fuck else is going on with these psychotropic drugs they're fucking pumping these kids up with. I mean, their hormones haven't even fucking gotten done raping and pillaging their bodies. Now you're gonna fucking dope them up with all kind of other goddamn crazy ass fucking concoctions. What the fuck's wrong with you people, man? It's fucking child abuse as far as I'm concerned. Taking a perfectly normal goddamn kid that's rebelling and fucking doing things that he's supposed to goddamn do, pump him full of fucking drugs and psychotropic drugs, and wonder why the fuck now he's shooting up schools and shit. It's all designed that way on purpose in order to fucking control you, to keep you in the same perpetual loop. And that's exactly what fucking takes place, you guys. That's what you'll fall into if you fucking sever the cord, pinch the cord, any of the above. If you keep chasing after your dreams and your goals and your ambitions and your fucking truths, stay true to you. Stay true to yourself, you guys. Stay true to your heart. Don't ever fucking sever that. Don't ever cut that cord. Keep that shit going, because that's the only way you can ever excel out of this. The only way you can ever become your potential light being self. What Jesus was trying to teach, what Buddha was trying to teach. You know, it's what the twins out there as a collective are trying to teach. None of us are fucking Buddha. None of us are Jesus. None of us are that fucking guy. But as a collective, we can all make it happen for the collective consciousness. That's what we're here for. That's what this whole program was sent down. Cosmos said, alright, we're in deep shit. We need the twin flame fucking virus to go in there and infect that goddamn shit and turn it around. Stop being fucking weenies and do what's necessary. Do what needs to happen to turn it around. Stop giving up. Stop being fucking weenies. You know, there's some dark ass fucking shit that you're gonna have to fucking face. There is. I had to face that shit, man. It's fucking not... It'll turn you as dark as you can fucking see yourself being. I promise you that. The people out there, they're always like, yay, this is so grand and light work. And no, there's some dark ass shit. Why don't we ever fucking talk about that? Why don't we ever talk about, you know, the fucking crazy ass shit that goes on in the world today? And we have to fucking battle that stuff. We have to come in contact with that shit. We have to transmute all that shit, which means we have to essentially take all that fucking dark energy, bring it in with our light beings, and fucking essentially eat it. Essentially take that light that we project and dim out all that darkness. Take all that darkness and fucking turn it into light. So that's exactly what you are doing, more or less. Now, it takes a toll on somebody. We're in a human being's body. We're not fucking light beings right now, okay? So there's only like a certain limitation that we can do this shit at. And that's where I think all of us, we don't know the limits, we don't know the expectations, and when we reach that limit, we're like, well, fuck, man, there's this door, there's this barrier that we can't get through, and we get discouraged. So we were like, well, hell, let's go back there, you know, where we just came, and see if there's another way out. And in a lot of ways, that's what this is a big ass fucking maze trying to find our way through to the other side. All of you twins are, in a sense, not given a manual, not given an instruction guide. This is why we reach out to others. And how did you deal with this process? Oh, you know, the thing that I really had to accept that is hard, is still hard today, because I am that lone wolf figure, is being involved in a group, being a part of a pack. And we are a pack, we are a team, we are a group, you know, all of us twins are in this together. And when you start alienating yourselves from each other, it's fucking very dangerous, because it's like the portions of your body, like certain organs, alienating themselves from, well, we're more important than you, lungs, because we're the heart. We're the most important. Well, I thought I was the most important. I'm the brain. Well, my balls fucking say I'm the most important down here. You have this whole thing, fucking, it's ridiculous. None of you guys are the most important. All of you guys are doing exactly what you need to do when you're supposed to do it, as long as you feel that you are. Now, you are your own worst critic. I can't tell you that you're doing it wrong. I can't tell you that you're fucking being a pansy. I can't tell you that you're sitting on your toes, you know, waiting for things to come along that make things better. I can't tell you none of that shit. And if anybody else tells you that they can, fuck those people. They're fucking lying to you. They can't tell you none of that shit. Only you can criticize you. Only you're capable of growing. Only you're capable of falling. Only you're capable of picking yourself up. Now, somebody may be able to give you a hand, but you got to accept that hand. You got to fucking stand up. You got to stay that way. You can give up. That's your choice. You can keep on going. There is no point when you go throughout your day that this spiritual journey isn't affecting you. Throughout your job, you can't, if your job doesn't allow you to be that spiritual person that you want to be, you're going to have to figure out a way to incorporate that job into that fucking spiritual, and turn all of those people onto that path, and in a sense harbor that darkness, if you will, and change those things, or you're going to need to quit that job and move on somewhere where you can't. This is the whole floating downstream. If things continuously fight you when you're trying to heal and transmute and to grow and to learn and to develop and to fucking get up to the next level of consciousness, you need to just get rid of that shit. Even if it is your twin. If it's your twin, they are gonna fucking respect you, and I honestly feel that I was a burden on my twin, and she needed me out of the way so she can grow, and so she can develop, and so she can go through the dark night of the soul and go through Kundalini and experience all the same things that I did. And just because I did it and the time that I did, I'm older. So I'm like, hurry up, here I am, I'm waiting, you know, I'm impatiently waiting. This is how you do it. This is how I did it. Here, and I've started trying to force feed her that stuff, and that's where I really fucked up, you guys. You don't ever try to force anyone to move at your pace. It's their job to decide what pace they want to move at. It's not your fucking job. It's not your job, even if that's your twin. I don't give a fuck how fucking you feel about, oh, well, I need to trigger them in order to move at a faster pace. Well, if you do that shit, it's not going to be because you thought of it. It's going to be because you did that shit on accident. Everything that I did on accident was essentially correct. You know, when I really tried to put a lot of thought and try to do something, I fucked it up every time. You know, everything that I did right by her, it was like it just came naturally. It just happened. I just did it. I just fucking reacted that way. When I sat around, I was like, oh, well, I'm going to come up with this, and she's going to end up doing this. And whenever you start doing that, when you play that fucking mind game, when you start trying to, like, figure out how things are going to play out with your twin, you're going to fuck up every time, I promise you. That's how it worked for me. You cannot control things with your twin. You cannot push things. You cannot make them move faster. You cannot do anything they don't want to do. Think about it. If someone, anyone, even your twin, was trying to push you at a state that you didn't want to fucking move at, you would say no. Even if it's your twin, you would say no. I know I would. I did. She did. So, I won't say any names, but there are other people out there that are in the fucking limelight that did the same thing. Have the strength to do it, you guys. It's exactly what's necessary. I love my twin so much. I want her in my life, but if I was in her life, she wouldn't be the person she needs to be. I would mucked it up. I would have not been the person I needed to be. So I would have got my way, right? But it wouldn't have been my way because I would have been in a half-assed relationship. I would have been half-assed, she would have been half-assed, and it's not going to fucking ever be what it could really be because neither of us did the work that we needed to do. That's what this journey is really about. You guys really have to step up and realize that that person is worth doing all of this work for. Your twin is worth doing all that work for, figuring things out, entering the darkness, walking through fucking hell and back again, fighting off all of that shit that's trying to latch onto you as you walk through the fucking gates, because that's the only way they can escape is on your back. Think about it. Every fucking time you walk down there, you're gonna deal with that same shit. So I wouldn't do it more than fucking once. If you're really fucking hard-headed and need to learn more than once, then fucking go right ahead. I fucking hope you're strong enough to do it. Shit takes a toll on people, you guys. You can listen to the folks that have fought the battles so you don't have to fight them. And you can grow from that, and you can try things on your own. I'm never trying to say, hey, go and do this exactly. It's what I'm telling you to do. It's what I did. It's what worked for me. I'm still learning. I'm still a student. Once you think that you're not a student anymore, you come and hit me up. I want to learn some shit. I promise you, you're going to fall flat on your face when you stop thinking you're the student. You're always the student. You're never the master. You're always the student. Always be humble. Always be the student. Always learn. Every day is a learning experience. I learn every fucking day. Every day I learn something new. My grandfather told me, boy, if you don't learn something each day, then it's a waste of day. He was right. I learn every day. I grow every day. I become stronger every day. The only person I've ever, well, I'm not going to say ever because I really put myself in a lot of games and races and contests with people. I'm not trying to place myself above and beyond anybody at this stage. I just want to beat myself from yesterday. I want to be better than who I was yesterday. I want to be better than that guy I was last year. I want to be better than the guy I was 5 years ago. I want to be better. I want to grow. If you guys don't want that, then I don't feel sorry for you, you know? That's what living is all about. That's what living and thriving in this world is all about. I've tried to do everything I can to put myself in a position of power that I feel comfortable in this life. And I feel like I'm going to have the adequate water and adequate food supply, adequate air supply. I can go and hide and let all the shit happen. And in all honesty, all I ever wanted to do was just have my twin and go and hide from all you fuckers. And that's why I can't have her. That's why. I understand why. When you start thinking, oh, well, I don't have my twin, I deserve my twin right now, I don't have any more work to do, any more growing, I know exactly why I don't have her in my arms right now. And that's why I've done quite a bit of work in order to fix those things. You know why your twin isn't where you want them to be. You need to lead. You need to be the one that goes and does the things that needs to be done. And they're going to do the things that they need to do. I promise that. I'm not pinching the cord or cutting the cord or anything with the fucking cord. It's the only piece that I have left. It's all I have left of her. And for me to throw that little bit away, it fucking brought me down to a dark place. And it'll bring you to a dark place. So you guys can try it, cut the cord, and fucking see how happy with life you guys are. I don't think that it's going to work out for you. Once again, fuck my opinion. If you want to try something, go right ahead. Let me know what happens. I'm all about science, dude. I try to do this shit myself to figure it out so I can tell you guys. It may not be what fucking happens for you guys, but I'm going to put myself out there because I don't trust other people with what they say. I don't trust some motherfucking douchebag on YouTube to tell me what the hell is supposed to happen and what's gonna happen and what I need to do and this, that, and the other. I'll go and fucking try that shit my damn self. Now, I am fairly intelligent, I'd like to believe. If I hear somebody telling me something that sounds like, well, that sounds logical to me, generally, I don't need to go and stick my dick in some hot coals to see if they're fucking hot. I fucking take that guy's word for it. Hey man, I stuck my dick in these hot coals. It burned my dick. I wouldn't do that shit. It sounds like a logical explanation to me. I'll go along with that theory. I'm not telling you guys to go and do stupid shit. But I've done plenty of stupid shit just to go and see if that was for real stupid shit or not. I know all of us have to do some stupid shit to just go and see. Just go and dabble your fucking toes in it. See what it's like. All of us have to. I don't judge any of you guys for doing that shit. Judge me not, will you? I feel I can say and do whatever the fuck I want to. This is my videos. But there have been certain times where I've even saw my videos when I'm trying to like look at them and what have you, clip them together, because anything over 12 minutes I gotta splice together. So while I'm splicing together, I watch this shit. I'm like, damn, dude, I can't even show this. I'm a fucking prick. I want to like not hurt people's feelings and shit. I want to motivate you into fucking doing some stuff. I don't want to fucking break you down. And sometimes I get that way, and sometimes I apologize, and sometimes you fucking need it. Stop being a bunch of babies. Our feelings need to be heard at times. It's how we grow. It's how we develop. You know, it's like our muscles. Our muscles need to hurt when we work them out a little bit in order to help them grow, to develop. Your feelings getting hurt, your heart being broken, all of these things help you in preparation in dealing with your twin, because your twin is the ultimate person to trigger all of those things. They trigger all of those things, you guys. So things that trigger you right now, you think that won't be triggered because, oh, I love that person so much and I want to do everything for them. I will do everything. They will never trigger me. Really. Go and try that shit. Let me know how that works out for you. Work on all the shit that you know needs to be worked on. Work on the things that trigger you, because I promise you, they need to all be dealt with before your twin really comes in union with you. You need to work on you and how you interact with people. I don't fucking like people. But I have to love them, right? It's the same thing with families, right? You don't like your family, but you love them. I don't like people. I don't like humanity. I don't like all of the disgusting shit that they do. But I do love them. They're my peoples. They're my earthlings. They're my home. They're my family. You guys are my family. And as long as I have a fighting spirit, I'm going to fight for my motherfucking family. Scorpios do not give up when they're fighting for their fucking families, when they're fighting for their people. And I'll walk into the darkness a handful of times, and I'll come back those handful of times afterwards, and I'll fuck shit up every time I go down there. Cast light on all this stuff. I have no problem whipping out the sword of truth and laying waste to all the lies and injustice that has taken place before me. I have no more issues or quarrels with any of these dark spirits that want to walk by and take the correct path and do the things that they need to do. All of us were dark spirits once. All of us have excelled to higher levels of consciousness. The whole idea that Jesus was trying to teach about, even if you wait to the last minute, even if you come to work at the last minute and start doing what is necessary and joining on to the team, that doesn't mean that you don't get a ticket to the other side because somebody else was there all along. We were here all along because we fucking agreed to be here all along. The people just waking up tomorrow and the next day, they didn't agree to any of that shit. Don't hold it against them. You don't get any special privileges or rewards because you've been here doing it all this time. Don't fucking seek them out. That guy that's waking up tomorrow, you're not any better or any more special than those people. Stop fucking thinking you are. Do the things that you need to do. Focus on those aspects of your life that you need to change in order to make you happy. A better person, a stronger person, a wiser person, a better mom, a better dad, a smarter individual. Be smart, be wise, be a leader. Don't be one of those fucking people going in and doing what the TV tells you to do. There's music telling you what to do. I want to tell you about frequency, okay? There was a frequency change from 432 to 440. It was specifically designed in order to make you more easily manipulated, easily controlled. 432 is a more harmonic frequency that resonates with our pitch, our heartbeats, our resonating frequency, if you will. When you alter that to the 440 state, what it does is shift things just off enough to where it keeps us from being at our optimum levels. So when you get messages, music, TV shows, all these movies, all this shit on these frequency levels, what you're doing is getting more of an entertainment level than triggering any of these. Like when I watch a movie, when I listen to music, when I do things, it all triggers this imagination. Imagination is the most important tool you have to work with. If you don't believe that, then you're fucking dumb as a brick. Imagination is the most important tool you have to work with. It's your strongest magic. It is your best mojo, your imagination. If you don't have that shit like times 10, then you're never going to be able to conquer this shit. Your imagination has to be on the highest level, your highest aptitude imagination. Boom. My twin, imagination. Up the fucking yin-yang. I fell in love with her every time my imagination popped out. I'll tell you the story about... And in my next video, I may even do this shit today because I'm very passionate about this. I got into a disagreement with her about something, about like the generational gap and what have you, and this was before I knew anything about her. She was just a coworker at the stage, you know, a friend or so, an acquaintance, and we got to talking about like old school like toys, imagination and what have you, and I was like, what the fuck do you know about imagination? You probably didn't even get to play with toys and shit. And it was like I fucking shit in her cereal. I hurt her feelings. I fucking triggered the rage. She just... It built up, and I know I was something about a stick. I was like, what the fuck do you know about a stick? You know, he's like, I know how to fucking use my imagination. I know how to play with a stick. You can use it as guns. You can play swords. You could use it for stick ball. If you have lots of sticks, you could build a fort. And my heart just melted right then and there. When you have lots of sticks, you could build a fort. She fucking shut me the fuck up. It's not very often people shut me the fuck up. She shut me the fuck up. I said, yes, ma'am. That's what your twin does to you. Your twin will shut you the fuck up and make you say, yes, ma'am. And that's what I did, you know. She has the imagination to match mine. She was out there playing with Legos off by herself in the fucking creek, building up realms of extravaganzas and fucking building forts. And when I'm by myself, I can use my imagination to a much higher level and higher extent. But when I was with her, it went well beyond anything I was ever capable of doing. When we were together, our imaginations could intertwine and become something spectacular, something that I can't even put into words. Just, I tried to capture it with the emotion. That's the only thing that I can give you. I don't know words for it. I don't know how to fucking channel that. What I experienced, what I felt. And that's what you feel with your twin. You can't get that shit anywhere else. Why the fuck even try? Why put yourself and those people through those situations? All you're gonna do is eat yourself up for that. So I made the conscious decision not to worry about it, not to fucking put myself through those things. Oh, the last couple of months have made me feel even better about said decisions. You know, every time I want to, it's like my twin fucking is there to kick me in the ass and what have yous. Now, everyone has their karmics. Everyone can and most likely will jump aboard that bandwagon. All of us have, in a sense, somebody to bide our time with. Why our twin is out there doing what they need to do. There's nothing wrong with learning from karmics, entertaining the idea of maybe this person is my twin. Getting slapped in the face and being, no, that person is definitely not. It's okay to go through all that stuff, you guys. You do not have to feel like, man, I'm going to go and be a monk and never date until my motherfucking twin comes along. You don't need to make that decision. It's not something that has to be done in order to make you feel good about yourself, in order to make the efforts sustainable, in order to make you excel to the next consciousness. I'm not telling you any of that shit. Just do what feels right by you. That's all you have to do. That's the number one advice that I have. Listen to your heart. Be true to yourself. Do what is right by you. Every time I do that, it always works out. When I really start, oh, I'm scared if I don't do this, then this might happen. I better go and do this then. Fuck that shit. That's not why you need to do things. I didn't go and plant those trees until this year. Many people will ask me, well, Brian, why didn't you do that fucking years ago? You've been talking about all this shit, you know, all this, like, is possible of happening. You know, why didn't you put yourself in that position years ago? I would have done it out of fear. I would have done it out of fear. At this stage, I'm in a state where I did that and I enjoyed doing it. I loved doing it. It was what makes me happy. I wasn't doing it out of fear anymore. And I understand why all of the things have happened exactly the way that they needed to, because I wasn't going to do things out of fear. The last thing I did out of fear was walk away from my twin. I did that out of fear. We've both done that. I have reason to believe that that's what we're in the middle of now. Walked away out of fear. We both had a lot of fears to work through, and deal with. I'd like to think that I worked through mine, and I'm patiently waiting for her to work through hers. Once that's happening, then we'll be able to work through some together. Because there's going to be some that we need to work through together. Same thing with you guys. You need to work through fears on your own, and they need to work through fears on their own. When you come together, work on those fears together to prove that you belong together at this stage. There will always be challenges. It will never be easy as fuck. I'm going to say that again. There will always be challenges. You are always the student. Things will never be easy as fuck. Never. Never. Not as long as you're here. In this life. In this realm. Even the 5D isn't fucking easy as fuck. Even that is going to be difficult. It's going to be a learning experience. It's going to be things that you're going to need to accept and deal with and get fucked over and deal with shenanigans still in the 5D even. It's going to be less likely to happen. You're going to fucking enjoy it a lot more, and it's going to be like, wow, that wasn't even really me getting fucked over. That's a joyous occasion. It's all your perspective, right? Your conscious level. The thing is, you're only in the 5D. You still have many levels to go. Don't think that you're the shit just because you excelled to the highest level. You will never be at the highest level. So, no matter how big your britches get, just remember, there's always bigger and badder out there than you. Promise you that. I get to meet those every so often. My twin, bigger and badder than me. Promise you that. Watch out for her out there in Cali. Now, you guys need to help me out with some portals out there. Okay, there's portals, need to be fucking open. You guys jump on that shit right away. Help me stop that earthquake from happening, because we got like a week before that plate really falls. It's gotta have to shift from somewhere, so we can shift it further south down into the Baja Peninsula, Mexico, you know, out there in the ocean. I think we can probably shift it out there and just cause some crazy ass tsunamis. Maybe that's all that's likely to happen if we can work it. But yeah, I'd rather not my Bay Area get fucked up if I can help it. So I'm gonna try all of my fucking mojos, push it further there out there in the ocean. Now the thing is, you just let shit happen the way it happens, or you can change things and alter things. That's the conundrum that I've been dealing with. If, say for instance, I can alter this and move that earthquake down away from the Bay Area, away from my home, away from my peoples, right? You know, maybe those motherfuckers deserve a good earthquake at this stage. Maybe there's been so much fucking bullshit happening and they deserve to have the fucking rude awakening. Who am I to even say that? But maybe that's what's fucking happening. Who am I to fucking move that earthquake out into the ocean away from them? That's the conundrum. I am being selfish. Once again, I'm not able to do that with my twin, right? My twin's out there. Maybe she needs to deal with that. She needs to go through an earthquake and be away from her comfort zone and all of the above. Maybe me meddling, trying to alter that earthquake, is not light work after all. Maybe it's dark work. What we think is light work sometimes can turn out to be dark work. Think about it. I want you guys to open your imaginations, open your minds to that thought. I want to leave you with that, because that is what keeps me awake at night. What to do with the power that one possesses when one can alter things and change things, and what gives you the right to do so? What gives you the reasoning behind it? What you think is light work can just be selfish intentions. What if our tasks are to come down here with said powers and not fucking even bother with them? Just say, you know what? It's not my responsibility. That shit is somebody else's responsibility. Is that wrong? Is it wrong to pass the buck when you know you are capable of changing and altering things? Give me some feedback on that one, you guys, because I'm perplexed on that whole situation. When we get into light work, when does it become dark work for other people? You know, because some light work can be dark work for some people. Give me some feedback. Love you guys. Hopefully I touched some hearts and minds today. I really tried to do my best on that. I'm sorry I've been such a fucking prick, you guys. Those couple of months without having my twin, you know, attached to me. It's hard to touch in on anything divine feminine. It's really hard to not just be that masculine, male chauvinist fucking prick, you know, that we're essentially taught to be. That ego will come out, that ego will protect me and make sure that nothing harms me when I'm in fear and in that kind of state. That's where I was those couple of months, so apologize for my low vibration. And hopefully I was able to make up for it in this video a little bit. Peace out. Love you guys.